So what that was is that was Vlad retelling to Taylor the night that he became cursed by Sarah Stark, an ancestor of the Stark Witch Coven. And what he was explaining was that he kind of threw this party in order to lure in Caleb and Lilith Vitor. His goal was that he wanted to marry Lilith Vitor and make her his vampire wife, his vampire bride. And he knew that she would never really be happy unless Caleb was also a vampire. So he kind of, brought them in and went after them both. Of course, things didn't really go well. The members of the party kind of saw what was going on and all freaked out and ran. There was a vampire hunter at the party who kind of came there with the intention to kill Vlad, and he failed. Vlad just kind of took him out without much of a struggle. But then Sarah Stark, who was there, she put a curse on him, and what this curse is he kind of has this aura around him. And this aura that's on Vlad pretty much makes it so it's very, very difficult for anyone to fall in love with him. And the goal is actually you'll never have your Lilith as your bride now. So Vlad, just trying to salvage any kind of relationship he could with the Vitor siblings, he planted a false memory using his vampiric powers to make it so that they believed that someone else had turned them, as well as kind of like forget about that night, forget about what had happened. And part of the curse also is the curse will only be undone as if he can get a Stark witch to marry him. And of course Sarah did this with the intention of you'll never find anyone, no Stark witch would ever marry you. So he took the opportunity when Taylor showed up at his door to abduct her and is pretty much gonna make her his bride now. On the hope that he wants to break the curse and then eventually try to woo Lilith. During this time now also he will be drinking a lot more Mortal blood with the attempt to try to make himself look younger, appear younger, so that he might appear more appealing to Lilith. Essentially, this is all him just trying to win Lilith over, and he might need to calm down just a little. So he is going to break that news to her. So he just told her the story, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry that..." Taylor's a very sympathetic witch. She feels bad for him. Pretty much she feels bad, she's like, "Oh, all you really wanted was love, even though you probably went about it in the wrong way." And this is kind of now where, he's revealing his plan, and she's beginning to realize, "Oh, you might not be as good as I think you are." Oh, he's like, "I'm gonna marry you," and she got upset, and he's like, "Well, I don't care." But as you see, she's really, she's very upset, and she cannot escape. And she's trying to reason with him. She's like, "Maybe if we go back to the other witches in my coven, maybe we can reverse this." And he's like, "At this point, there is no point." She's like, he's like, "I know what will become of me." So she is going to run away back to her room and try to hide, really. So as we so as we just witnessed with Taylor, Vlad ain't drinking blood to uh he ain't keeping them alive. He is playing for a keeps. He just killed this.
Miss Keisha. Miss Keisha. Miss Keisha. Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
Alright, so we're back here at the Cullen Residence with we got Bella here and Edward. Bella's been working on her becoming a master vampire. So currently she has to defeat 3 vampires and become a prime vampire. Has to drink plasma, research vampire lore, or use vampiric powers to gain enough vampire. Okay. Alright, so we need to test out some of her new powers. Oh, where is she? But yeah, is there anyone out here we can use them on? Because if we want to get Bella to be a master vampire in our vampire series. Oh, who's this? Sure. Let's go for this dude. So we learned that he's a loner, he hates children, and he's a genius. Okay. That's cool, I guess. We're gonna go visit the Vitor house and see if I can do anything with them. There's our ex-lover, Jacob Black. See what we can do to him. Detect personality. Like, you know what, we haven't talked in a while. Maybe you've changed. He's active, self-assured, and a loner. Okay. Can we request vampiric training? Train me. Oh. Is this how you mentor? This is a little suspicious. Just need to go over to Lilith and maybe hopefully if we talk a little, let us maybe do a vampiric combat battle. Vampiric spar. Let's go. She has such an emo looking dark form. It's not even like really that scary or corrupt looking. It's just kind of like, ooh, my chateau. Alright, let's rumble. Oh. It looks like Bella's just standing there. Bella, oh. Oh, we just got our ass kicked. Bella Swan, I need you to come out here and spar with Caleb. Because we lost. Oopsie! At least she's doing something this time. Last time she's just standing there. Caleb! I mean, that's what I wanted, but it's also not what I wanted. Let's go see if Edward will spar with us. We're gonna have a vampiric spar between lovers. Aww. kissed him first. Now she's like, okay, now let's kick each other's asses. That's like true lovers do. I'm gonna do a raft of Caleb's house. Oh. It did. Oh. Oh, this was a short one. I'll take a picture together. Oh, he just left. I don't blame him. Bella, go home. The sun's coming out. Alright, so I haven't had a chance to really show you guys this before. You've probably seen the old Stark manor that I had, but now that we have Realm of Magic out, I have decided to completely retcon that house. My Sims now live here, my Sim Witches, and I'm claiming that they've always lived here, and if you call me out in the comments, I will not listen. I might, I'll just be like, what's that sound? Anyways, so Sebastian and Selma, they're kind of wondering where on earth could Taylor be? She didn't come home the other night. They're getting a little worried because she's not answering. So then they decided, okay, she might be in the magic realm. So that's where they're gonna go. They're gonna go check out the magic realm and see if maybe that's where she went. Alright, so here they are. They came here to just look for her. They're like, okay, she hanging around here somewhere? So then they're like, oh look, Morgan. We know Morgan. Morgan also knows Taylor. Like, have you seen Taylor? And he's like, He's like, I don't think I have seen her recently. But then Morgan's like, hey, Sebastian, what if you go and check downstairs? She might be somewhere downstairs. And Sebastian's like, hey, it probably couldn't hurt to check it out. You can tell by the look on Morgan's face that he looks like he's got something to tell Selma. She's like, what's going on? And Morgan's got some bad news. He can't say for sure, but he says when he was looking at his crystal ball, he saw a vision of her, and it didn't look good. He couldn't really see the image that clearly. And she's like, I don't understand. And he says, I think Sebastian has a friend who might know a little bit more than they let on. And she's like, I don't know what you mean by that. And he said, I think you do if you really think about it. And she's like, are you talking about Caleb? And he's like, I think you need to go speak with him. So also, I got a little headcanon here. I think Morgan's developing a little bit of a crush on Selma. So Selma's taking Sebastian back, and she said, listen. She said, I don't know if Morgan's telling the truth. I don't know really what's going on, but he mentioned something about a vision that involved Caleb, and he's a little worried that Caleb might know more than is being led on. And he's like, what do you mean? And she said, I think we need to go pay him a visit. Alright, so Selma and Sebastian are coming on in because, they've got some questions. She's like, we need to talk, and Caleb's like, okay, maybe we should step outside for a second. She's kind of like, listen, I was told of something, kind of a story that may or may not be true. And he's like, listen, it's a little bit more complicated than you think. He's like, I'm a little worried. I don't want you and Sebastian running in to try to save Taylor if she is where I think she is. And someone's like, listen. She's like, listen. We're powerful, a lot more powerful than you could ever imagine. I think that's where I'm going to wrap up this episode. We now know what Vlad's intentions are. His intentions are to marry Taylor with the hopes of breaking this old curse that is upon him, as well as we also got time to catch up on Bella and see what Bella is up to. She's really working on that, getting to that grand vampire. Don't worry, I promise these two separate plots will begin to merge. I know right now they seem very separate. As well as now Sebastian and Selma kind of know that there's a chance Taylor might be in more danger than they thought originally. And next time, we're going to be bringing in an older Sim from before that we all know and love, who's going to help them kind of figure things out. So make sure to check in that time, and I'll see you around.